proportional versus non-proportional situations. In this video, we will be looking at equations only. So I want you to write down each of these equations, and all we're going to do is determine whether or not these equations represent situations that are proportional or non-proportional. So the easiest thing to do is recall that if a situation is proportional, it's going to run through the origin 0, 0. That means when your x is 0, your y also has to be 0. So what we're going to do is we're just going to plug in 0 for each of our x values. So instead of 3 times x, we're going to say 3 times 0. And what is 3 times 0? 0. So 0 equals 0. So yes, this is a proportional situation because when x is 0, y will also be 0. In this next situation, if I took, I'm just going to write over this, if I took 0 and I plugged it in for x, 0 is not negative or positive, so it's 0 plus 6, so y is going to equal 6. So the point that this represents would be x is 0, y is 6. Is that proportional? No, that is non-proportional because, again, when x is 0, y is 6. All right, in this next situation, if I plugged in 0 for x, what would be my value for y? Negative 2 times 0 is 0. So when x is 0, y is 0. Is that a proportional situation? Yes, that is proportional. And then in this last situation, if I plug in 0 for x, 5 times 0 is 0, minus 3 is negative 3. So this point, when x is 0, y is negative 3, that does not go through the origin, so this is non-proportional. So, all you need to do is write a brief summary that explains how to determine whether a situation is proportional or non-proportional by looking at an equation, and I want you to include something about the equation y equals kx in your explanation. For